If you guys were living in 2020, you know that 2020 was a year to be reckoned with. And what 2020 showed me was that I wasn't fully prepared. So this video is basically explaining how we're going to build wealth in 2021. So without further ado, let's begin. So the first thing is, don't try to make up for 2020. We're in 2021 now, and I know that because you guys have been at home doing social distancing and everything, you can't go to your favorite restaurants, you guys feel a bit clustered and you guys want to just let go and know that the vaccine is out and know that things will go back to normal for the most part within the year or so, hopefully, fingers crossed. But you can't make up for 2020 in 2021. Simple, because so I know that basically you guys probably had some money left over that you never spent because you're not traveling, or you have money that you were mostly cooking from home, so you're saving a lot of money. I don't want when you guys come 2021, you guys, alright, never spent any money on KFC last year, we're going to buy 2 famous bowls these times. No, we can't. We have to try and refuse the impulse spending. Alright, so with all that money that you have saved, I have a better way that you can utilize it, which leads me to my next point, which is don't be afraid of money. Alright, so I know that you guys were fearful last year, and I was too in some sense. However, we can't allow the fear of not having money to prevent us from actually not using our money wisely. So because there was fear in the market in somewhere around January, February in the pandemic, the market tanked and price fell really far on very profitable stocks. So I know that during the pandemic, you guys probably never had any money, and you guys probably had, but you were scared because you never knew how you would get back money. And it could be shown in the market, because in January to February, somewhere around March, the market tanked, and it was because people were scared of losing their money. So they decided that alright, they're going to pull out, and the market tanked. And there were persons in the market that did not sell though, or there were persons that were investing while the market was going down. They capitalized on opportunity, because if you were supposed to buy stocks at prices that they were in February and March, you would have to be invested in those companies 3 years ago. So basically, persons were buying good stocks for a penny on the dollar. It's like getting to buy a $250,000 Lamborghini for $100,000. And who would want the same car? We're just getting that at a cheaper price. But I think one of the reasons why persons tend to be fearful of investing is because they're afraid of losing their money. So here's this little idea. Whenever you decide to set aside money for investing, just let's say you just throw your money in the garbage. So let's say you throw your money in the garbage, and if you fail, then yeah, the money was already in the garbage. And if you made a lot of money, you'd have found a lot of money. So if you go into the market with that principle, you would lose fear factor that you have about losing your money in the market. But guys, remember, we're not blindly investing, we're just trying to negate the fear factor. So just always remember to do research on the company before you actually invest in it. So the third tip that I want you guys to do is, if anything that 2020 taught us, is that we were not prepared. So what we want to do is, we want to create an emergency fund. We're going to set aside a money for emergencies only. So we're going to probably set aside roughly about 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. Alright, so living expenses is simply how you are currently living. How much money would it take you to live like that if you weren't paid for however long of duration. So we want to save 3 to 6 months, and the easiest way to save money is to spend less money. But then, why we have persons living paycheck to paycheck? The sad truth is, we live in an economy that is a net zero, which simply means that we live in an economy where if someone makes $1,000, they spend $1,000. So what we're going to try to do is save at least $2,000 as soon as possible. And if you can't, I better not catch you guys buying designer clothes. Alright, so basically in 2020, interest rates were slashed to near zero. And yes, we want to save our emergency funds. However, we can't save all our money, because if you put your money in the bank, the interest that you're going to get on the money now, seeing that interest rates are slashed, are going to be close to zero. So let's give you an example. Say you have $100 in the bank. If you're lucky, and I say if, you might after a whole year get 101 cents. And yes, you're still making a little bit of money, but some banks are even paying less than that. But that's not what you should worry about. You should worry about that the price of things are, everything is rising. So at the end of the day, your $100 is actually losing value. That is the power of inflation. But we can go into that in our next video. So essentially, you're just getting broker and broker, because the banks are not paying much money and things are rising. So yeah, I know you guys are probably scared, but we still need to actually be investing. If you want your money to grow, it's not going to happen in the bank. So I'd advise to put your money to work, start buying some stocks or flipping. And I made a video on 5 ways how to make some money. I'll put a link in the description, or it should happen somewhere at the top. Alright, so the next tip I have for you guys is to pay off your debt. I know that when we had the pandemic in 2020, a lot of persons lost their jobs and a lot of persons went into debt. It can be student loan, personal debt, borrowing from friends, families, banks, just to make ends meet. So we need to pay off our debt. So if you get a job, or you build a new side hustle or something, just start paying off the debt from now. And yes, I know that you guys had to eat and you guys never necessarily wanted to borrow the money. However, it happened and now that is behind us. However, the debt is still with us. So what we're going to try to do is, if you start getting paid, as I say, if you have any side hustles, start paying off your debt. But first, we need to ensure that we have our cushion, ensure that our family is protected, and that we pay off our debts. And if anything remaining now, we start investing. Alright, so my next tip is for you guys is to build a winner's mindset. And I know that 2020 defeated a lot of us, me included at some point. However, we pulled through and we're doing this together. So what we're going to do with the winner's mindset is simply we're going to try and grow the pie. And the pie we're talking about is the funds and the assets. Alright, so let's say that we make roughly $40,000 per year. And we are winners, so we're saving 25% of our income. And we want to try and squeeze a little bit more, so just save maybe 26%. And then we're at 30. And then at this point we're pinching pennies, we're barely surviving. So what I would like you guys to do is not to try and save as much as you can from the $40,000, but I would like you guys to save more. And how will we do that? We have to grow our income. We have to grow the pie. And how we grow the pie, I say? Well, I have a video, as I say, I will link on how you can make additional streams of income. I'll also be posting new videos on how to make more money, or even how to change your time for money until you are able to no longer have to exchange your time for money and have your money working for you. So I want you guys to not only focus on trying to pinch each little penny to save for the rainy day or the investment or the emergency fund, but we want you guys to have the winner's mindset. We're going to try to create multiple streams of income and grow our portfolio. So 20% or 25% of $40,000 is good, but it'd be better if you're saving 20% or 25% of $400,000. You see where we're going with this? And even if you guys don't watch my video, there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of information out on YouTube. And guys, it's just simple. All you need to do is just find a way to create value for the persons around you, either in the immediate surrounding or on the internet. Everybody has something special, you just need to find it. Alright, so I know I mentioned about inflation and how evil it is. However, there's a good side to it. If you guys are like me, and I'm assuming you guys are close to, I want to own a home, but this advice goes either if you own a home or if you're planning to own a home. All you have to do is just try and check up on your mortgage. So if you had a mortgage loan that has maybe 10% interest, we are in a very low time now where interest rates are really low, so we are able to refinance and, you know, try to make the best out of everything. So we can refinance it, possibly carry it lower, and persons who are just getting into it, you'll be getting in when interest rates are low. So it's a win-win situation. Alright, so the last tip I have for you guys is to invest really aggressively. And yeah, I know I spoke about investing quite a lot in this, but think about it. If you have the Lamborghini at $200,000 or $250,000 and you got it at $100,000 now, eventually Lamborghini prices are going to go back up. That is the stock market. It's going to go back up as the demand for it increases. So imagine if you could buy 1 or 2 or 3 Lamborghinis while the price is going back up. You will have about roughly $750,000 or $800,000 in valued Lamborghini, because you were smart and you decided to buy when Lamborghinis were selling at say $100,000. So yeah, that was a weird analogy, but I guess persons can relate when it's something off topic. It's just the concept. But hey, nobody can time the market. So what I advise you guys to do is just continuously invest, and invest really aggressively. Just make it that if you get a money or as you get a pay, you just say, alright, you're going to invest a certain amount of money in it. Invest first and then think about living expenses after. But be smart. I don't want you guys to invest and then don't have anywhere to live. So, and that's it guys. So love you guys and see you in the next video. By the way, I have a book coming up. Probably everybody know about it, but I still going to do it. My little spin on it. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Remember to like, leave a comment, and if you're not already, subscribe if you still reach this far. Love you guys and see you in the next one.